Here now is Solutionaries.
I can't go through this again.
We're seeing so much distress among our clients.
We strive for progress, not perfection.
I've been trying to get back on a horse since the day I broke my neck.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
I could use a hug.
I'll give you a hug. It's all right, man.
You just need a little bit of a break.
Violence can happen to anyone, all genders, all races.
It's all right.
Welcome to Solutionaries. I'm Lewis Bolden. Okay, so let's start with that word, solutionaries. What does it even mean? A solutionary is a creative thinker and doer driven to create a positive impact in our community. And the good news is there are many of them. We're excited to shine light on their work and celebrate our communities. Today we're talking about mental health, an issue less taboo to talk about, but instead a topic thrust into the limelight. Mental health isn't a small issue. Most subjects covered by our nationwide team are not. There isn't a silver bullet solution for mental health, no one-size-fits-all answer for the problem. We want to acknowledge and make it understood that our pursuit of solutions is a hunt for actionable ideas we can use to help. If we can stack those on top of each other, we can make a difference. As we face climate issues and a future riddled with challenges, for many, anxiety grows.
I just want people to pay closer attention to it, start doing something.
There are lots of indicators pointing toward rapid irregularity when it comes to weather. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, aka NOAA, and other climate watchdogs illustrate several concerning factors contributing to change. Global temperatures have risen 2 degrees Fahrenheit over the last 140 years. Now, that's a seemingly small number, but a change with huge implications. We'll have more on that in a moment. Stronger storms are evident. According to the Center for Climate and Energy Solutions, scientists say they aren't sure if we should expect more hurricanes, but we absolutely should expect stronger, more devastating storms. It's also an expensive problem. The National Center for Environmental Information says 2022's disaster bill was $165 billion. Yes, that is billions with a B. And that's just a tiny sample of the enormity of the problem. Solutionaries correspondent Eric Sandoval searched and found solutions for climate anxiety.
Does all this news about climate change make you anxious like me? Well, let's get some therapy together. Woo! If you're just joining me right now, I cover hurricanes for a living, and I'm going to be honest with you, my mom doesn't like it.
No, I do not.
The scary thing is, these hurricanes are getting stronger. I mean, take a look at what Hurricane Nicole did here in Central Florida. These homes are literally hanging off the side of a sand dune. That pool right there being held up by poles. The good news is we found some mental health counselors that are starting to take this climate anxiety seriously.
Climate anxiety is definitely a real thing.
First, we need to take a look at the problem.
It's traumatizing. And whenever you see a storm swirling out there, it's just like PTSD.
And this is why Paula Hyrett feels like this. I mean, take a look at what a really strong storm like Hurricane Ian did to her home near Daytona Beach, Florida.
So we either apply and get FEMA assistance to go up and raise the house, or get a loan, or go. I can't go through this again.
Farther inland. So tell me why this is your favorite part of the house again?
Because it's Florida, and I love being outside.
Teresa Pope says she has seen the effects of climate change simply by lounging by her pool. And she says it's making her anxious.
We're all affected by it. You can see it with the weather. You know how different it is? There's a lot more storms now all over the world. It's not just here. It's everywhere. And I'm worried about what we're leaving our kids and our grandchildren in the future.
We're going to show you how therapists are actually being trained to be on the lookout for this kind of anxiety, because Pope isn't alone in feeling like this. She actually responded to a survey that Solutionaries conducted with news organizations across the country, asking people how they felt about the changing climate. More than 2/3 of the people who responded said that they were worried about it, and more than half of the people said that they feel anxious about it.
I'm calling it climate disruption distress.
That's Michael Whalen. He's a licensed mental health counselor. And, you know, we were all set to jump in a car and go talk to him in person, but what did you tell us?
Unless you have an electric car, maybe we can save a thimbleful of CO2.
You're part of a group of mental health counselors across the country who basically have studied up on climate anxiety and the way people feel when they think about the changing climate. Are you seeing some of your clients who have some of this going on in their lives?
Sure. There's climate grief. When we envision the future and we have that anxiety or that worry about what's going to happen to the climate and for our own personal well-being.
And we're going to show you how some people are processing all of that.
There's a reason why we're seeing so much distress among our clients.
We spoke with Susan McMillan from Costa Rica, where she's conducting research on depression. And she's helped develop a lesson plan for her fellow therapists, exploring the hidden impacts of climate change and what they're having on mental health. So, how are you bringing this to other counselors and therapists? What are you telling them?
What we need to do while we're helping clients and teaching communication skills and identifying our emotions is also bring them back to our lost sense of connection to nature.
All right, so what do you do if you're feeling anxious about the changing climate? Well, we have some advice that the therapist actually passed along. First, allow yourself to feel the way you feel. Talk to some friends and family about your feelings. And if you can, take some action.
Hi, my name is Allison Dacott, and I am an environmental artist, a timepieces artist, and looking to just change the world through my art. We spent about 40 hours creating this mural. This whole concept is about a bear. His name is Future. He lives in 2060, and it's the world transformed by climate change. So this is his two friends, a pelican and a panther, because, you know, we had to make it Florida-based. And I'm collaborating with Vola Foundation to make this beautiful mural and have a message that has impact.
So taking action can be therapeutic.
I just want people to pay closer attention to it, start doing something.
So can talking to your friends and loved ones about your anxiety over the changing climate. So can finding a mental health counselor who's keyed into the subject. So it feels good to be part of the solution.
That's the only way.
Switching gears now from climate, let's talk about court. Yeah, that's right, court, as in courthouses and judges. In Duval County, Florida, in an attempt to break the cycle of people bouncing in and out of jail, they have established a mental health court. Their mission is to collaborate with community service providers to assist and encourage those with mental health illnesses to obtain treatment services to enhance their quality of life. Solutionaries correspondent Vic Michelucci takes us into the courtroom.
On a mission, these mental health professionals are hoping to solve some of Jacksonville's problems with homelessness and drug use, one person at a time.
The mental health offenders program has just been life-changing for so many people who are just stuck in this cycle of repeatedly getting incarcerated or repeatedly getting hospitalized.
Hey, Magistrate Brady.
How are you doing?
I'm all right.
A big component is court. Magistrate Brooke Brady and another judge handle the MHOP program at the Duval County Courthouse.
So how's everything going on your own? I hear you're doing well.
They make sure that participants follow the rules and get the help that they need.
You've been doing okay?
Yep.
I heard you were negative on your drug screen. That's fantastic.
We watched your hearing. You showed a lot of mercy.
Yeah. So it's a very difficult population. We strive for progress, not perfection. Many of these people have come such a long way already.
Magistrate Brady says this seems to work incredibly well, getting people off the streets and into stable housing, cutting down on the small crimes, as well as jail and hospital costs.
What has been the greatest success story?
We had a gentleman in our pilot program. He was arrested, I believe it was 97 times from 2017 until he came into our program. He was one of our first graduates of the program. He has not been rearrested. He's gotten his benefits.
Jacksonville's City Council allocated $600,000 for the project. The state of Florida appropriated another $700,000. That's a total of $1.3 million to run the program for now. With this money, the program is expanding to 40 participants. That's still a small percentage of the more than 200 people that authorities have identified as eligible. The pilot started with 20 people whose arrests cost $362,000. Since entering the MHOP program, their bill was a much more manageable $12,000. It's been life-changing for participants like Corey.
Did you have a home?
No, I didn't have a home, no.
Where'd you sleep?
I sleep like really ain't go to sleep, but I slept like by some dinner places sometimes. Watching like Popeye cartoon.
He came into the program barely communicating. Now, he's grown and volunteers as a helping hand at the shelter.
You know, to see somebody that everybody else has sort of given up on and said, well, they're not going to be able to make it work in an assisted living or in their own apartment. We're the safety net of the safety net, and we're going to come in and we're going to say, no, this person deserves that chance. And to work with somebody like Corey and to see him blossom in the program, to see him want to give back. He wants to be here volunteering and watering our plants.
There are lots of other ways to connect with people in need of a little help.
It's sitting a lot better for you, though.
In San Antonio, veterans are reclaiming happiness in the saddle. In just moments, the amazing benefits of equine therapy.
It doesn't matter what your disability is. If you're interested in something, there's a way to try it. It might not be the same as what you're used to in the past, but there's still a way to participate in that activity and to enjoy it.
What's going on, everyone? I'm certified meteorologist Jonathan Kegas, and I hope that you are ready for updates on storm tracking, hurricanes, and all kinds of weather-related content coming to you on our YouTube channel, Just Weather. All you have to do is scan that QR code on the screen to like, share, and subscribe to all of our weather-related updates, stories, and video content. All right, now back to Solutionaries.
Welcome back to Solutionaries. When you think of the word therapy, you're probably picturing an office, a couch, and a therapist with a notebook. But when it comes to equine therapy, well, that's not at all how it looks. Veterans searching for a happy place have found it in a saddle on a horse. Solutionaries correspondent Stephen Cavazzo strapped his boots on to tell us about this story about an amazing group of people and some trusty steeds.
I've been trying to get back on a horse since the day I broke my neck.
Feel good?
I think so.
Left foot in first?
Yes. And then just swing yourself up and over.
All right. That feels pretty comfortable.
All right. Now you're going to take the left rein. You're going to pull left.
Pull left?
Yes, pull left.
All right. This is where you learn to become a cowboy, right?
Full attention, check.
Get comfortable.
Nerves, not so much. In fact, it took a little while to get comfortable here at the Stonewall Sorting Range. But once I did...
Use your right hand to pull. Okay. There you go. Now kick. And then go straight. Oh, we're moving, folks. We're moving.
We were off. James Holbrook understands that rewarding feeling, and he tells me for veterans coping with their mental health, it can be life-changing.
You know, when you talked about stepping onto the horse for the first time, it was that feeling of like, okay, I can't be distracted. I need to be present here. How hard was that?
It's very hard to concentrate. I mean, when your mind's always racing with your PTSD problems, it's constantly trying to find another way to think of something. With Semper Fi and the Americas Fund is what they did was found something that veterans can use to help come back as a group, come back and be around like-minded veterans.
Colonel John Mayer tells me the impact the program has had.
This really is designed to rejuvenate the spirit. A guy gets wounded critically or is injured or has a critical illness. You want to be able to get that spirit back and show them that they still, no matter what their disability is, they still got ability. This program's very unique in that it takes them out to big ranches out west, and they work in support of the rancher as a team, accomplishing a mission for the rancher. And usually it's something like moving cattle into a national forest permit or bringing them out, helping gather and brand their calves every year. And what they're doing now is sorting the cattle. The horse doesn't care about your past. It doesn't care if you've been blown up. It doesn't care that you're missing an arm or a leg. It doesn't care where you're going. What it cares about is right now. And that's the beauty of horses.
I met Richard Carson, a former U.S. Army line medic. He was seriously injured in Afghanistan back in 2010 and eventually learned to walk again using a cane. But in 2017, a terrible car crash left him paralyzed.
It was very difficult. I really had no interest in doing a lot of things. Liked to drink a lot. Didn't really want to go out anywhere or do anything.
This was his first time on the ranch and his first time getting back on a horse.
I've been trying to get back on a horse since the day I broke my neck. I had my own horses beforehand. All I did was ride horses and work, and so for me it was the opportunity to come out here. I didn't know if it was going to work very good or not, but I was like, at least I can try and see where it goes.
He did not know any of the other veterans, but placed his trust in them as he was lifted from his chair and safely saddled back into a familiar feeling.
It was amazing. It was freeing. It gets me out of the chair doing something. It's getting back to something that I love doing that helped me deal a lot with my PTSD.
Carson tells me the real healing begins when you say yes.
It doesn't matter what your disability is. If you're interested in something, there's a way to try it. It might not be the same as what you're used to in the past, but there's still a way to participate in that activity and to enjoy it.
Equine Therapy has many benefits and is available all over the country, not just in Texas.
It seems like you got a lot going on, man. It's all right. It's all right, man.
For officers, when it comes to mental health, they often see people's struggles up close and personal. In Macomb County, a community just outside Detroit, police ran into a young man who was very upset in his car. They approached the gentleman with concern. Their body cameras recorded the interaction and gave us a glimpse of the power of compassion.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
Could use a hug.
I'll give you a hug. It seems like you got a lot going on, man. It's all right. It's all right, man. It seems like a lot to take on, you know?
In that situation, it was a successful situation in the effect of diffusing. The officer did a wonderful job diffusing the situation, just speaking to the individual in a way that was very empathetic and validating.
The importance of taking time to focus on your mental health with a day that is your primary concern really helps to ground you and reconnect you. It can be an opportunity to rest, both physically and mentally.
Violence became a pretty regular thing. It's one of those situations where you try to talk it out, and you can't talk it out. So you try to leave to minimize the damage or the situation. You can't do that either.
We want to know what topic you'd like us to find solutions for. So scan the QR code and let us know. Remember, you can see all the solutions we've uncovered at youtube.com/Solutionaries. You can also sign up for our newsletter and listen to our podcast. That's all for now. I'm Louis Bolden. Thanks for watching.